terrifying discovery buried at the Garden of Eden. The discovery of the Garden of Eden has been a topic of great interest. A recurring issue that arises from time to time is the location of this mythical place on our current Earth. Many scholars claim to have found it, but what evidence supports their assertions? Is the proximity of the Garden of Eden an indication of the Rapture's impending arrival? The Garden of Eden holds a significant place in the Old Testament, being mentioned in its first chapter. However, the fate of this idyllic paradise remains a mystery. Does it still exist today, or was it destroyed during the Great Flood in Noah's time? Some speculate that it may be located in modern-day Iraq. In the Garden of Eden, God placed Adam and Eve, the very first man and woman, after he created them. This particular location is referenced in the creation narratives of the Jewish, Christian, and Muslim religions. In God's likeness, Adam was fashioned, but it was deemed not good for him to be alone, so God caused him to sleep and made Eve, the first woman, out of one of his ribs, to serve as his companion and helpmate. Genesis 2:20-23. Adam and Eve were tasked with the responsibility of watching over the tree of life within the garden, but they succumbed to the serpent's deceitful words and ate from another tree, leading to their banishment from the garden. For years, many individuals have searched for this tree, following hints in the Bible. Notwithstanding, apparently the answer to this well-established riddle has at last been found. The Book of Beginning, accepted to have been composed around 1500 BC, furnishes us with significant data about the area of the Garden of Eden. This information is derived from the description of the rivers that flowed through the garden and its proximity to a gold mining area. As per Beginning 2:8-10, the Master God made a wonderful garden on the east side of Eden and put the man he made there. In this garden there were two important trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Additionally, a river flowed from Eden to irrigate the garden, which then split into four separate rivers. One of the rivers was named Pishon, which encircled the entire gold-rich region of Shavila. This land was known for its high-quality gold as well as bdellium and onyx. The second river, Gihon, flowed around the entirety of Cush. The third river ran to the east of Assyria and was called Tigris. Finally, the fourth river was the Euphrates, a major waterway. Many individuals wonder where the Nursery of Eden is found. As per the Holy Book, it's in the center east close to the Tigris and Euphrates streams. Nonetheless, it is difficult to be aware without a doubt in the event that this is a similar spot to cutting-edge Iraq, since waterways can alter their direction after some time. A big flood, like the one in Noah's time, can drastically alter the landscape. The flood caused massive destruction, redirecting the riverbeds and leaving behind debris. It's possible that the rivers mentioned in the Bible no longer exist because of this flood. After the flood, Noah and his family may have used the same names for the rivers they knew before the flood. The Bible mentions four specific places, including the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, as landmarks around the Garden of Eden. Some experts believe that this region is where Eden was located. On the offhand chance that the speculative area of the scriptural Garden of Eden was for sure in present-day Iraq, then it would be profoundly covered under various layers of sedimentary stone and soil. Mesopotamia is the outdated name for the region that is at present known as Iraq, insinuating the land organized between the Tigris and Euphrates streams. The southern portion of this river confluence was named Babylonia by the ancient Greeks. It is commonly believed that Iraq could be the possible site of the Garden of Eden. This is because of the way that the Tigris and Euphrates streams, which start from Turkey, course through Iraq and eventually flow into the Persian inlet. However, the Pishon and Gihon rivers are no longer present, making it difficult to precisely locate the garden. Fortunately, with the help of modern scientific research, we can now approximate the original locations of these rivers. In 1994, Dr. Farouk Elbaz, who is recognized as a pioneer in remote sensing and is the director of the Center for Remote Sensing at Boston University, utilized images from ground-penetrating radar on the space shuttle to locate and trace the bed of an ancient river. This river flowed for around 600 miles, or 965 kilometers through Saudi Arabia, and ended in Kuwait. Dr. Elbaz dubbed it the Kuwait River, and it is said to have originated in Modad the Hub, an area in the western province of Medina in Saudi Arabia, which has been a primary gold mining region since 3000 BC. The biblical account of the Pishon describes it as flowing from the land of Shavila, indicating that the Garden of Eden was possibly located on the northern Gulf, potentially off the coast of present-day Kuwait. Although the Gihon River has not been positively identified, the Karun River is the leading candidate since it merges with the Pishon, Euphrates, and Tigris north of the Gulf, originating in Iran. Somewhere in the range of 3500 and 1900 BC, the earliest time of the human turn of events, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates waterways was alluded to as Eden by the Sumerians. As indicated by the Good Book, Eden was arranged in an area that is 11,000 years of age, between the Tigris and Euphrates waterways. The Old Close to East was the primary home of the Akkad government, which laid down a good foundation for itself in the locale between the Tigris and Euphrates. As indicated by the Book of Beginnings, their most memorable home was the Garden of Eden, which was situated close to the intersection of the Tigris and Euphrates streams. Is it possible to locate the Garden of Eden as described in religious texts? As per the guide in the Holy Book, Eden was arranged in present-day Iraq, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. In any case, because of the disastrous flood, any pre-flood waterways would have been covered and obliterated, prompting a total reshaping of the world's surface. This makes it difficult to accept that the garden might have been due for millennia without being found, particularly given the immense number of individuals who have ignored that locale for hundreds of years. Moreover, even if the garden still exists, it is unlikely that anyone could enter it. This is because after Adam and Eve's rebellion, the garden was forever sealed off. In Genesis 3:23-24, it is expressed that God sent him forward from the Garden of Eden to work the earth from which he had been taken. To protect the path to the tree of life, he banished men from the garden and stationed cherubim and a blazing sword that turned in all directions at its eastern entrance. Hence, even if the garden is intact, accessing it may not be possible. According to religious beliefs, a future paradise will be as splendid as Eden was when it was first created by God. This new paradise is where the righteous will spend eternity after death. In Revelation 21:1-2, it is expressed, "And I saw another paradise and another earth, for the old paradise and the principal earth were gone, and there was no more ocean. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, descending from heaven like a bride beautifully dressed for her husband." The Good Book makes reference to the possibility of the reformation of the Garden of Eden and how it connects with the joy. This relationship is also discussed. It is often held that Jesus will one day travel to Jerusalem from the east and restore all that has been misplaced. The loss may include changes to the landscape that took place between the period of Adam and Moses, such as the drying up of rivers like the Gishron and Pishon. On the off chance that these streams were found, it could be an indication that the apocalypse is drawing nearer, alongside the approaching of Jesus and the joy. Indeed, even in current times, the subject of where the very Garden of Eden was found keeps on being a charming one. There are claims made in various scriptural texts that experts have decided the site of the city. In any case, there is no proof to help these cases. It is felt that the Nursery of Eden is the principal area to be depicted in the Hebrew scripture. This gives the Garden of Eden a prominent place of significance in the creation accounts of the Jewish, Christian, and Muslim religions. Indeed, even while the proof suggests that the nursery was situated in the district between the Tigris and the Euphrates, it is difficult to verify that this is a similar site to cutting-edge Iraq. Despite this, the idea of locating the Garden of Eden continues to pique interest and stimulate curiosity regarding the beginnings of humankind.